Stay tuned for today's Antidote, brought to you by the Renegade Success Network. Today's Antidote features a healthy dose of thought-provoking insights and information for business owners, entrepreneurs, leaders, and nonprofit professionals. Each day since March of 2020, this program has offered that one thing to help you continue on your own unique pathway to success. And now, Renegades, we bring you Bob Graham and Tom Brush.
Tuesday.
I think I'm starting to like that.
Okay.
I think. I'm not 100% sure I'm there yet. And okay. All right. It's good.
You guys shake it up. You know, I keep figuring if I do this every day, eventually someday it'll be good.
Yeah, that's way to make some judgments on yourself and what you do.
There you have it.
Correct. Anyhow, good morning, everyone. I'm Tom Brush. That's Bob Graham, and this is today's Antidote, our daily broadcast where we try to provide you with the one thing to help you keep moving forward, to help you take that next step. We'll have a discussion about a topic. Our topic this week is what's possible. And during that, we hope that you will provide your thoughts and comments as we go along, because it helps enhance what we do with the show. And at the end, we'll provide our one thing. And if you would like to also share one thing, I am sure that not only will it add value to what we're doing, but it'll also add value to someone else who is out there looking for things to help them keep moving forward when they get stuck. So we hope that you will participate in what we're doing. So today, Bob, we're going to talk a little bit about, yesterday we did the kind of what's possible, looking forward. Like if you could wave a magic wand. Bob, over the weekend, bought a magic wand. And he waved it over all of our Ring of Renegades members and said, hey, have a dream. What would your dream look like? What would your business work? What would things look like if you could make that choice? Today, we're going to follow up with that and talk about, if that happened, how would it feel? So I want you to think about that for a moment while Bob shares a promotion about an upcoming workshop we have.
Hey, it's that time for a promotion coming up on Monday. That's right, March 22nd at either 10 a.m. or 7 p.m. You can eliminate your obstacles. That's right, we're going to do a workshop that's going to be about making your Renegade pathway easier. Tom and I have perfected a process, and we want to share it with you because not only will it take over and help you figure out the one obstacle you're dealing with that day, but a whole bunch of other obstacles. It's a replicatable process. It's going to be a lot of fun. Tom and I do not talk at you the whole time. We actually have an interaction. We ask you questions and really make you think. It's a pull out the pen and paper, pencil and paper, work through it kind of workshop that you're going to leave with excitement, passion, and really enthusiasm for what you're trying to do. So if that appeals to you, and who wouldn't that appeal to, look in the chat box right now because I just put in the link to find out more and to register. So we will see you Monday either at 10 a.m. Eastern time or 7 p.m. Eastern time. I don't think I took a whole breath that whole time, Tom.
You did not. I think that's one of the things when you do those, you get so excited that you just like, bam, power through it. There's no time for breathing. You do get a little hand movement in there usually, which is nice, and you get the point across. So
I am excited. I'm excited for it. They're great.
The only thing I would offer,
yeah, please.
No, it's me. I'm not sure we've perfected it. We are moving closer and closer to perfection, and that is our goal. Is to
we're very good at it.
We have found something that is real for us and that is very real for the people who participate. So we hope that you will join us then, because I think a lot of that is about, when we can eliminate obstacles, we can start to figure out what's possible, what's out there. And most importantly, I think it's easy to dream about it. But how would it actually feel? And so why don't you share a little bit of your thoughts, Bob, about that and why it's important to understand how you would feel?
Well, first of all, a lot of us, and I'm certainly in that category, don't spend enough time with our feelings. I am someone who, if you listen to that promo I just did, I didn't take any time to feel anything. It was just a bunch of words. It was a it was just going through it. And I think that's something that as I get older, I'm realizing that I need to feel things, both the highs and the lows. And I think, if every day were perfectly sunny and 75 degrees, life would get boring. And so I think feeling the things, going through the difficult days, makes the really good days feel better. And when I give presentations, I've had a couple of presentations that didn't go as expected. That certainly comes to mind when something goes really well. And it's like, boy, this is so different than that. And I think it gives us the comparison. And I think we tend to think that we're going to feel this moment when we get to a certain place, everything's perfect. This is going to get so easy. It's going to be so perfect. I won't have to work hard. And I think the reality is it's going to feel different every day. We've certainly seen in the last year that it's different every day. Where we are today as a civilization, as a country, as a people is very different than we were just a week ago. I mean, now we have a AstraZeneca vaccine that's causing some trouble in Europe. They haven't approved it here in the US, but that causes, when I read that this morning, that caused me a little pause, like, oh, wow, boy, that could change things. And I think as we think of what's possible, we have to recognize that we're going to feel different things. And the more I accept that I'm going to feel scared, worried, panicked, anxious, excited, elated, frustrated, enthusiastic, passionate, all those things. It's a whole stew of feelings. I rarely have one feeling all day. I don't get up and go, okay, today I'm going to feel anxious all day. It's sort of like I'm anxious and then I'm excited and then I'm all over the place, right?
Of course. That's part of what
aren't you?
Absolutely. Yeah. Because we have things happening to us all day that change and interact what's real and where we're at. And I think that, I like a lot of what you said there, and I want to add to it about, and you'll like this. This is great, an appropriate week. Because as some of you may know, on Friday is our 1-year anniversary of the first episode of today's Antidote. And there have been a lot of interesting things that have happened in this show. One that I will truly never forget. That is this point. We were having a conversation about something else. And I started talking about a process that I learned when I was a kid about when you talk about feeling it. Like, again, if you wanted to accomplish something, you had to imagine it. And then not just imagine it, but really feel like, what does your body go through as you are doing whatever it is you were performing? This was about athletic development. I learned about it as someone who was trying to learn how to touch the rim and dunk a basketball. And I talked about the process of, it's not just saying, yeah, I want to touch the rim. That would be great. Why would that be great? Because then the closer I get, I might be able to dunk a basketball. That would be great. It's hard to block. And it just would expand my athletic potential. I would jump higher so I could rebound more effectively. And one of the processes I watched a video on was, I think it was psychocybernetics, I believe. And it was right. You needed your body to feel it. You needed to feel what's going to happen when your muscles come together before you get ready to explode off of the ground to jump. And as you can feel your feet, you go from your foot, from your heel to your toes, and you explode up. And how does that reach into your calf? And you extend your arm. And ultimately, imagining that if, let's say, you could touch the rim at the top tips of your fingers. Imagine what would happen when your palm hit that rim. We did do a little experiment out in Bob's backyard where Bob tried to, I forget if it was touch the rim or dunk a ball. I think it was touch the rim first.
Well, I think it was dunk a tennis ball first.
Dunk a tennis ball, okay. And so I might have to dig up that video somewhere. Anyhow, I think that's part of it. It's part of not just letting your mind imagine it, it's your body feel. Like, what would it feel like if I had the business of my dreams? If I had the success that I had, that I want to have? So that it's not just my mind thinking it, it's my body actually reacting to, like, what would that be like? What would it be like if I woke up every day and I had my plan all laid out I had the clients that I wanted to serve. I had the customers that I wanted to be a part of, that I could walk into a meeting and know that my team was going to be focused and that the meeting was going to be effective and that we were going to accomplish exactly what we wanted to accomplish in the time frame we set out so that the organization moves forward. How would that feel? And I think getting us in that place of whatever the feelings you want to have when that happens, whether it's excitement, it's happy, it's elated, it's, think about it all. It might be just sort of in calmness of, okay, I'm where I want to be. I'm doing the things I want to do. I don't have to be as stressed as I was. And so I think that giving yourself a chance to imagine what that'd be like can add significant benefit to what you're trying to accomplish.
I want to work Tim's comment in here because I think it's a good one. So, Tom, Bob was willing to make a video of it. Are you going to make a video of your dunking ability?
I don't have a basketball rim. I can't do it at my house. Sorry.
You are welcome to come over here any day you like, Tom. You could try that.
I would be happy to try that. I would be happy to try that. I think there's, and it's interesting. I think, what I've tried to do sometimes is imagine, as I do some workout and I'm on a treadmill at the gym and I try to.
I got the ball right here.
You're prepared. Nice. I like that. Well, COVID, we got to have 6 feet distancing. We'll have to work on that. We have to spray that ball down with all sorts of hand sanitizer and it'll be slippery, so it'd be hard to do. And
he's making excuses, people.
There's no doubt about that. Because I remember watching Bob and I thought, oh my God, he's going to slip and fall and break his leg and it's going to be a disaster. Anyhow, so I think that there's.
I wonder if that affected it, Tom. If you were worried about me slipping and falling, did that cause me to not see what was possible? Because I remember at one point you said to me, hey, make sure you don't slip and fall because it was a little wet.
Well, that's funny. That's interesting. I mean, I think if we put those thoughts in our head that, I don't know that I'm not sure I can do this. Those limiting beliefs to be like, even though my mind thinks it and I've had my body feel it, someone has now slipped something into what was real for me in the moment that now might not be the case. And I wonder how often that happens with our businesses.
Right. Well, and that becomes what is impossible, right? The minute we put the limiting factor in, we change that whole equation. So if we're feeling what it feels like for it to be impossible, oh, I'm going to slip, I'm going to fall, I'm going to break my leg, it's awfully hard to hit the ramp. It's awfully hard to hit whatever you're trying to do in your business, whether you're managing people, it's awfully hard to hit a sales goal. It's awfully hard to hit a morale goal if you're going, well, John in accounting is never going to buy into this.
Right. Well, think about conversations you have with staff or with your supervisor. If you go into it worried about I'm afraid if I say this, something's going to happen and I'm not how effective are you going to be? If you're nervous about the conversation, that's always going to be in the back of your head. Like, what could go wrong? What might I say that might not be right? Talk about it. I'm giving a presentation on a stage next week. And so there's always those things that go into your head. It's like, okay, well, what happens if I lose my notes? What if somebody in the audience is sleeping in the back? What happens?
Snoring is, right. I've been there. That's not fun.
Yeah. I mean, it's all of those things that can derail us, that can stop us from getting to what's possible. And I think that's the ultimate goal is how do we keep those feelings and thoughts about, wow, this would be awesome. And then go back to that when we struggle. If we've set out what's possible, we know how that might feel. When we're not feeling that way, at least we can go back to what we recall as, this is what I thought it was going to feel like. And this is what I want it to feel like. So how do I change to get there? Knowing that it's still in sight, I just have to make some adjustments along the way to try to get there. What am I going to do differently that's going to help me get to where I want to be so that I can feel the way I want to feel about what I am accomplishing? There is no doubt, I truly believe that if you wake up every day and are just like, oh, I got to go to work. Oh, I got to go to do my job. Oh, this is, And then somebody asks
Oh,
you,
I got to make sales calls.
right?
Oh,
Somebody
I got to
asks you,
find
how's
another
work?
customer.
Yeah, you're gonna share that with others, and so already you're setting yourself up to likely go in and be like, well, this isn't going to work. So I guess I'll make the call because I have to, but that doesn't mean that nobody's going to answer and nothing's going to happen. And then we are not prepared when we actually do those things.
So I got another quote of the week. Tim says, I got the ball right here. I remember saying that when I held the ball up. So Tom, I think Tim's provoking you. He wants you to see what's possible by coming over here and taking a shot.
Okay. We will set that up at some point. Maybe when it gets a little warmer. So I can be in shorts.
I'm going to hold you to it because you want to show off your legs in the video?
Yeah, that's exactly why. So as we think about how that might feel, Bob, do you have one thing for today?
Yeah, I was, and I just posted the question. Are you living in what's possible or are you living in what's impossible? Because I was thinking through it and I was thinking about a couple of things I said in my head to myself earlier this morning. I said something to myself in my head yesterday afternoon that were limiting factors, that were things that were holding me back. And so I think it's a real question. Are you living in what's possible or are you living in what's impossible? And if you're living in what's impossible, what would it take to get you to that place where you can see what's possible? And frankly, it's one of the things you and I have been helping people with the laser solution sessions. To go from, and how many of them have you done? I know probably a million. I've probably done a million where the person says, well, I'd really like to achieve this thing. And you're like, okay, how do we get there? And they're like, what? No, it's not possible. I'm like, did you just say it out loud? Yeah. Okay. I'm game. Let's go.
Right.
And I think that if that's something that you've never experienced, be happy to have a 15-minute laser solution session and you will start to see what's possible. And it's amazing once you start to see what's possible, how much progress you can make, no matter what the obstacle is.
There's no doubt. And I firmly believe that it's one thing, as you said, as we've said, I think that's the beauty of when you feel it and you understand how it would feel. It is more than just a thought, because thoughts can be fleeting. Thoughts can be interrupted by whatever. It's interesting. One of my coaches, always talks about whenever she has to do a presentation, she has this routine of, she calls it shake it up. And so she'll go somewhere and she'll just shake her entire body. One, because she says it gives her energy. Two, because it's sort of like you get out all of those negative feelings about what might go wrong, what might, and you get thinking about how awesome you feel. So now I'm going to walk out on that stage or walk out in front of that group and, feeling this is going to be an amazing experience. This is going to make a difference for people. This is going to make a difference for me and how I'm able to do the work that I do. And so I think so often we get caught in that you've got to be rigid and you've got to be under control and you've got to be focused. And yeah, those are all beneficial. And sometimes you need to just shake it out so that you feel a little more comfortable about yourself and you're not as stressed, not as worried. You're just enjoying the feeling of kind of releasing your body and being like, I'm going to let this happen. I know this is going to be beneficial. And I'm not going to let negative feelings impact. Negative feelings like worry, frustration, fear take over the positive feelings that I want to have and where I want to be when I'm doing what I'm doing.
I know a lot of people that say a prayer right before they go into a meeting. And it's, as much as asking for help, it's also clearing their head and being open to what's possible. I say a prayer before every meeting with someone where I say, I just want to be present.
Well, I think people need to do what calms them down.
Yeah.
Or not even calms them down, what sets them in the right, not only headspace, but in what they're feeling to move forward to accomplish what it is, to get them to get all of those other things out of the way, all those things that clog up our head and our feelings so often. And usually they aren't the positive ones. Usually they're the negative ones. It's one of the things I love about, and if you haven't checked it out, you should definitely watch Sharon Montez's videos on Monday morning. Her Monday Motivational is a great, for me, just like a grounding. She's always got something positive to share. She talks a lot about love in just the biggest, broadest way. And every time I watch that, I sit back and I'm like, I'm in a better space.
They make me smile.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's, how do we find those moments? Not those moments like, oh, I can't believe I got to go do this, or oh, this is so frustrating, or it didn't work last time, it's not going to work this time. I think that when we can change our feelings, we are going to get closer and closer to what we have dreamed is possible.
Couldn't agree more. So with that, Tom, why don't we wrap up today? It's been a great program. We will be back again tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Eastern Time for another episode of the Today's Antidote. I almost forgot the name. And as Tom mentioned earlier, mark your calendar for Friday morning at 8 a.m. because Tom and I are going to do our 1-year anniversary program. And it is guaranteed to be a good time. I will tell you in all honesty, we haven't even talked about what it's going to be. But the closer we get to it, the more I think it'll get exciting. And who knows, it might involve Tom and a basketball. You never know.
You never know. That's possible. I'm not sure I'm feeling it right now at the moment.
Okay. Well, the beauty of doing Basketball Friday is it's the first day of that basketball tournament that you can't say the name of without getting into trouble.
They don't start on Thursday this year?
I think the play-in games are Thursday. Friday's the first big day.
Got it.
So could be the perfect time to do a little hoop on the program. It would look like we were really on top of something.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to rain. Anyhow.
Oh.
Maybe
so that's Friday, 8 a.m. Eastern Time. So mark your calendar. It will definitely be something. So if you're keeping score at home, tomorrow morning, 8 a.m., Thursday morning, 8 a.m., all Eastern Time, Friday morning, 8 a.m. Eastern Time. And then moving to Monday, 2 workshops, one at 10 a.m., one at 7 p.m. Look at that. I got all the times right.
That was pretty impressive. Very well done.
You didn't think I could do it, did you?
That's not true. I always believe in you. I believe that it is possible. It may or may not happen, but I believe it is possible.
And you have all the evidence to suggest otherwise.
Yes, I do. All right, folks. Thanks so much for joining us today. If you are not yet a member of our Ring of Renegades Facebook group, where we have conversations like this, discussions like this, where you can watch Sharon and other members of our community share what is going on with them, that are providing that insight, that support to help you continue to move forward along your own unique journey to success, pathway to success. And if you are not yet a member, it's easy to do. Go to Facebook, search for Ring of Renegades. It is a private group because we're trying to create a space, a community, a place where we want people who are willing to consider what's possible and also to think about how will that feel when they achieve what is possible. So you just have to ask to join and tell us why you're a renegade. And you can become a part of our growing community where we are helping people continue to take that next step. And I would also share that if you are struggling to try to figure some of these out, if it's really hard to even imagine what you think is possible, what it might look like, you may want to consider one of our laser solution sessions or joining our Renegade Success Network, where we're helping people take that next step, move further along their own unique pathway. So here's some further information about that. If not, we hope to see you inside of the Ring of Renegades Facebook group. Or as Bob said, we'll see you tomorrow, 8 a.m. Eastern Time for our next edition of Today's Antidote. Have a great day, everyone. Are you struggling to make your vision a reality? Are you stuck and don't know what to do next? Are fear and doubt holding you back? The Renegade Success Network will help you determine the next steps on your pathway. Here is some of what you will get. Create your pathway call to start you on a better path. Unlimited
laser solution sessions to keep you from getting stuck. Nurture your network events to build your network with other successful leaders. Monthly Renegade challenges to prepare you for what lies ahead. The Renegade Success Vault, giving you access to videos, tools, and tips on specific topics anytime you need them. And the Renegade Success Network community, an exclusive Facebook group of like-minded renegades, all working towards achieving their goals. You have a choice. Do it yourself and fumble forward slowly and alone. Or join the Renegade Success Network and be part of a community built to help you find your own pathway. Join today at renegadesuccessnetwork.com. Act now and jumpstart your journey on your own pathway to success.